and welcome back to my channel. My name is Nicole and here on Wee Mama I do lots of motherhood, lifestyle, cleaning and organisational videos. So if you like that kind of content, I would love it if you could stick around and maybe consider subscribing. I am mummy to a little boy called Didier who is 1.5 years old, and this is my newest little addition. This is Nina. She's like fast asleep. I've just woke her up because it's booby time, but she's not having any of it. She's fast asleep. So I'm just going to carry on filming this. So I am kind of cheating. This video is supposed to be a monthly update for her, but I have actually left this a little bit too long. She is now 5 weeks, so she's just over a month old now. Can't stop looking at her. I still can't believe that I've got a little girl. So yeah, I thought I would just get on with it and tell you what she's been up to. There we go, we can see her now. I'll just get straight into it and tell you all about her monthly update. So first of all, Nina is putting on a really healthy amount of weight. She was £5.1 when she was born, and she was a really scrawny little thing, bless her. And now the midwives weighed her about 2 weeks ago, and she has now put on extra 2 pounds. So she is now 6 pounds and 14 ounces, which is amazing. Makes me feel really good because I am breastfeeding, and it's really good to know that she's getting what she needs from my boobs. And we are thinking of moving on to bottles soon. I'm thinking of just pumping and giving her a bottle that way so that my husband can help out in the night. My husband can also have that bonding with her as well by feeding her. So we're probably going to move on to bottles soon, introduce those in a couple of weeks maybe. She is definitely starting to fill out her clothes a lot more. I'm not 100% sure what size she is at the moment. She's just in between all sizes. We got her a mixture of tiny baby, early baby and newborn, and she's definitely too small for newborn, but she's just in between the early baby and the tiny baby. When the midwife last came out, she said she was really happy with her. She had no more signs of jaundice, which was what we were looking for. So we're fully discharged now, and now we're just waiting for the health visit to come along. Her skin is still a little bit spotty. It's more heat spots from what I can remember. I don't really think it's that baby acne. She's pretty clear most of the time, but then if she's been pressed up against me while I've been breastfeeding, you can notice she just gets almost like a rash of bright red spots around here, but they will disappear quite quickly. Her hair is definitely growing at the back. We kind of joke that she looks like a little old man, bless her. She's just got dark hair all the way around, and then she's pretty bald on top. But now in the last couple of days we've really noticed that she's starting to fill up a little bit on top. I'm sorry, I didn't mean that you look like an old man. I'm really sorry. She is also starting to become more awake during the day. She hasn't got too much of a routine yet because of my older little boy. When she sleeps in the living room in the Moses basket with us, obviously her little brother can be a little bit disruptive, so I really need to start putting her in her bed upstairs out of the way from him. But at the moment, we haven't quite got a structured routine, so I really need to start working on that. But I don't know, as a second baby we've just kind of not got into it yet. I'm just going with the flow. I don't want to stress myself out. But yeah, we're working on it. She does cluster feed a little. Sometimes she'll mostly just fall asleep on my boob, and after she'll probably only have about 5-10 minutes, and when I think, oh, you're done, I'll burp her, wind her, and then as soon as I put her down in the cot, she will wake up again and be like, what are you doing? I'm still hungry, and I end up having to put her back on the boob. So I feel like I am cluster feeding a little bit, and I'm not kind of used, because with my first little boy I only breastfed for about 2 weeks. As I'm approaching week 6 now, this is quite an accomplishment for me. So yeah, I'm really happy. But it's all brand new to me. Due to this cluster feeding, it can be a little bit tricky to get her back into bed at night. We bought a snooze pod for this reason, because my little boy would not, after breastfeeding and bottle feed, mostly after breastfeeding his first 2 weeks, but whenever we tried to put him back into the Moses basket, he would not go back. We are kind of having the same problem with her now, is that when we take her out, she'll be fast asleep on my boob. When we put her back into the snooze pod, she will just wake up again and start crying until you pick her up again. So we really need to work on that. I find that swaddling works best. So we've got little sleep snacks, so I like to put her in there, and I always feel after a long feed, putting her dummy in and wrapping her up in a swaddle, putting her in her snooze pod, and she tends to go back to sleep much faster that way. Lately she has been a little bit clingy and not sleeping as well at night because my little boy's gone back to nursery for the first time since COVID. He only does Monday morning, but he has obviously brought back all the heebie-jeebies, and Nina definitely caught it a little bit more worse for wear. They've just had really like bunged up noses. She was really snuffly, bless her, especially at night when she was like more on her back. Really bad snuffles, and like I said, just extra clingy. I couldn't do anything. I have started like baby wearing, and I had to have her on me constantly during that week because she just did not want to be put down. She absolutely loved bath time. We have now started to have a nighttime routine. I was really struggling with putting them both in bed. So our new routine is to bath them together at night. So I've got a sponge, like a huge baby bath sponge, which she lies down on. My little boy will sit in the bath and I will bring all of her things into the bathroom. And at the moment I just feel like that is the best way to tackle bedtime. Her skin is a little bit dry. I don't know if that's because she was an early baby or what, but we just tend to, after giving her a nice warm bath, just smothering her in coconut oil. My husband calls her his little coconut because she always smells of coconut oil. She has a really strong neck, which is really weird. So like I said, when she is up on me, she will literally sometimes throw herself to the side, and I've got to be really quick to make sure I can or catch her almost. She's done it quite a few times now, and she'll either like throw herself this way or that way. Like my little boy didn't do that, but she's definitely got some good strong shoulder and head muscles. Like I mentioned before, she really loves like baby wearing. I didn't do this with my first little boy. I guess I didn't really need to, but if I want to get anything done like cooking, putting food on for my little boy, cleaning, baby wearing, I just have to do it with this one. So I bought a wrap from Amazon, and it has been a godsend. I'm so happy that I've got it, and I paid a little bit more money for it. And yeah, she absolutely loves being close up, snuggled in. She's here for it. Also with feeding, she is kind of having like 2 to 3 hour feeds in between. In the day, sometimes if she's really like well fed in the morning, she'll have like a good morning nap then for quite like an hour or two, and then she'll wake up and want feeding again. I think she's actually been asleep since around, I want to say 9:30, and I've just woke her up for food and she's still not awake yet. But yeah, in the night she's getting even better. First of all, it was quite tricky when we brought her home because it was almost every hour, I would say an hour and 10 minutes she would wake up. And now she's just obviously filling out a bit more. She's waking up every like 2 to 3 hours, which is really good. As for me, I am feeling really good. I think my whole phase in the hospital was where I felt really bad, mostly because of her, because she was in the NICU. I think I mentioned in my last update with my C-section, because she was in NICU, it just took my mind completely off the C-section. But I have been healing really well. Every time I look at the scar, it definitely looks like it's healing. I haven't had any problems with it. I have noticed that it's obviously still very numb, and obviously that's expected. Some people say that their scar is still numb 3 years on. The only thing I would say is that it is a little bit itchy, but I think that's just where it's healing and it's tightening. But I'm just really glad that I haven't got any infections, because apparently that's quite common. I am absolutely exhausted. As much as I love having 2 under 2, it is hard. I think I'm going to do a video on how I'm coping with 2 under 2, but for the most part it has been really fun. I'm actually really enjoying it, but there have been moments where I've wanted to cry, understandably. I'm really happy with like the progress we're making, but first of all, obviously I didn't know how to handle it. Like I said, at bedtime I thought she would sleep when I was putting my other little boy down, and she just wasn't. So I would get really worked up and really stressed out in their bedroom. But now I think that I found a little routine. I'm definitely a lot calmer than I was before. I am exhausted. I don't really sleep when she sleeps because I don't really think you can. When you've got another one to look after, you can't. You just kind of need to get on with it, because there's always something that needs to be done. My mum goes nuts at me because she's just like, you need to sleep when she sleeps. Don't worry about the house being a mess. But if the house is a mess, like a bomb site with my little boy and her stuff everywhere, my stuff everywhere, it just leads to my mood being a lot lower than it should be. So I do like to take that time to tidy up when they are asleep, and it just works for me. So I am tired, but I just make sure that I go to bed earlier. I was always quite a late sleeper, going to bed at around 10-11 o'clock. Now that doesn't happen. When the babies are in bed, I will usually, which is usually around 7:30 to 8 o'clock, when they finally go to sleep, I will then come downstairs, have a quick tidy up, and I am in bed and sleeping. So I think that's why, even though I am exhausted from waking up through the night, I don't think I'm that sleep deprived. But yeah, like I mentioned before, I will definitely do another video on how I'm coping. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked it, I would love it if you could give it a thumbs up and help support my channel. Please leave any comments down below. I will always reply back to them. Thank you again for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.